Travis Wayne Goodsell. Yeah, 9 hours sleep from listening to myself. I knocked myself out. But not only is it for the algorithms to trigger them to get more attention for people, or an attempt to, as YouTube fights me on this to try to silence me. I also watch because the information that I provide is interesting to me. That's why I became an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East. It's because that's the answers that I wanted. Because nobody had the answers, I had to become the answer. And it upsets Mormons. It upsets the prophets. But it's the prophet's fault. They set up the conditions for me to become an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East. It's their fault, and they're blaming me for it, accusing me for it, denying that I am. You know, they took Joseph Smith and claim he's their founder. They took the Book of Mormon and claim that it's our keystone. And they tell us to study. But then they don't give us the answers. They don't explain it for us. They just tell us to put in Jesus. And anybody with half a brain can figure things out, that there's a conflict. You know, it's like a white woman, she gives birth to a black baby. And her husband is a white man. There's a conflict that needs to be resolved. And yet for the parents to be in denial of this conflict, I referred to a Jim Carrey movie where he's the father of 3 black boys. And was too much in shock because the truth was that his wife was cheating on him. But that's how the church is treating me. That I am the woman giving birth to black children, and I'm not supposed to. And so the church is offended, and church is upset. Church has tried to murder me. And that has triggered Mormons to hate me, to want to murder me. You know, the prophets expected me to believe and trust them, and to be dumb, to go around and continue to say that Joseph Smith saw Jesus, and just ignore the big elephants in the room. To read the Book of Mormon as literal history and ignore the big elephants in the room, or shall we say cows from Europe in the room. And so, yeah, I'm not acting like an ex-Mormon or former Mormon that I am either. Because I'm supposed to, if I were one of them, I'm supposed to have green space alien babies. And I'm not. So nobody understands. It's because they're not thinking in the terms of the learning of the Jews. So anybody notice the Wagner group in the news? Tried to form a coup against Putin. Russian on Russian. Anybody remember my videos talking about the latter days of the church? Mormon on Mormon. Doing battle. I see how it can happen. First Nephi 22. Wherefore the Lord God will proceed to make bare his arm in the eyes of all the nations, in bringing about his covenants and his gospel unto those who are of the house of Israel. This is the latter days, Mormons. You're in bondage. You're violating his covenants. Section 1, verse 14 and 15. That leads into 16. For the fall of the great and abominable church, which he calls Babylon in there. Wherefore, he will bring them again out of captivity. Latter days, Mormons. And Mormons shall be gathered together to Zion. And Mormons shall be brought out of obscurity and out of darkness. See, I know what that obscurity and darkness is. Because everybody's attacking me. I did get a comment from a regular viewer who thanked me for the information from that 3.5-hour tour. So obviously I'm not speaking to everybody. And I did have a comment last night of somebody who was being funny, so I responded by being funny. We'll see if they expected me to respond by being funny. See, I can play around too. And Mormons shall know that the Lord is their Savior. Don't Mormons already know? And their Redeemer, the Mighty One of Israel. It's right there in the Book of Mormon for you guys. You just have to have the right interpretation. Learning of the Jews. And the blood of that great and abominable church, which is the whore of all the earth. The church is going around selling herself to make a profit That's why she's called a whore. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is not a religion. It is a corporation. In fact, it's technically called the Corporation of the President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The church is just a branch off of the full umbrella of the corporation. And that's how the church is trying to deceive the IRS to not pay taxes, to keep their 501c3 in place. But the IRS intended the church to be the umbrella, and any business would be under the umbrella of the religion. But instead, no, the church is deceiving the IRS. They are a corporation, and one of the prongs is the religion part of it. That's why I did the video about all the ways Mormons pay. Nobody wanted to watch, but every Mormon knows it's true. And yet Mormons think that they can just ignore it and hide, hope it goes away, hope that YouTube silences the video with their algorithms to protect the church, so that people won't know and find out. And what does that say to people who actually give in and start joining the church to pay, and then come to find out that they got to keep paying, and there's other ways to pay, and that paying is allowing them to participate and do more in Mormonism? And then you find out that they want you to be a criminal, to go out and recruit others for them. See, this is the sad fate of Mormons. That I did that video too. That I got death threats and hate comments from Mormons. They know what they're doing, and they know that I'm telling the truth. They just don't like it that I'm telling it. The reality is too hard for them to handle, because they've been fooled into thinking that this is a church and that Jesus is real, because they stole Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon. And they replaced them with Christian Jesus. And so it's the church, and the blood of that great and abominable church, which is the whore of all of the earth, shall turn upon their own heads. What the church is doing to you will come back to bite them. They should know this. It's been a pattern in all the world and all of history. That's why I tell you that the church is purposely trying to destroy this church. Destroy that little prong in the umbrella. And do away with it. Do away with Joseph Smith. Do away with the Book of Mormon. And the way they're going about it is to lie about it. They're intending to destroy Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon as Christian. They don't want you to know it's the learning of the Jews. The reason why is because it's prophesying about them as being evil. The great and abominable church. And so Mormons shall war among themselves, and the sword of their own hands shall fall upon their own heads, and they shall be drunken with their own blood. And it talks about every nation that wars against the true church, because there are, save two churches, Church of the Lamb, Church of the Great and Abominable Whore. So now it's talking about the real one. And those of you who have been following me for years, you have witnessed the church attack me and attempt to murder me. And yet I'm still standing. There's the theme song in the description below. And so the pit which the church is trying to dig for Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon, and thus cause a stumbling block for Mormons, they'll fall into it themselves. But that's what they want. As much as Nelson has come out to try to deny it, to prove I'm wrong, that's just the stupidest argument in the world. Denialism to prove the other person wrong. No, it's not. There, I own you. I destroyed you with denialism. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard about in all my years. Dear God. I mean, it's like kids. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? No, you're to infinity. No, you're infinity times infinity. You're infinity to the infinity power. Mormons just act like kids when they are upset with me. They just revert to their childish behaviors to try to defend the church. But yeah, I mean, to attack me, I see this. But it's on them. And I see it. Because Mormons, by using their read, ponder, pray, get a spiritual witness, and call it good, so that they don't have to study, every single Mormon has a different view and interpretation of the scriptures. And so Joseph Smith, when he talks about Christianity, everybody interprets the same passage differently. That's Mormons. With the Mormon scriptures, the Book of Mormon. Every Mormon interprets things differently. And so when you have Mormon talking with another Mormon, and they're sharing their spiritual witness, they get upset with each other for not having their spiritual witness. And I see how that can happen. And so the fall is coming. But because of my nuisances, we have to figure out what else is going to happen. And the church doesn't have much time. They want it all done and over with by next year. They have planned for the day that they shall burn us as an oven. That's the change Joseph Smith made. It is the church that will destroy, utterly destroy Mormons. And so now we have to wait to see what is next. And as much as the Davies County School District reversed their decision on banning the Bible, it didn't make the big news. See, the world still knows that Mormons ban the Bible. That's what they remember now. They don't forget. If you say Mormon to them now, They will tell you, oh, you're the ones who banned the Bible. What have you got against the Bible? No, 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 no. No, I heard it. You banned the Bible. See, they're not going to hear. They didn't hear. It was just local news that covered that they reversed it. The national news did not come out with a story saying they reversed the Bible. No. And so the rest of the world did not hear that it was reversed. As far as they still know, Mormons banned the Bible. And it was just the one person who filed the complaint. And he was anonymous. Or she was anonymous. And she used the Bible rather than the Book of Mormon. That would have been the big irony. The big news. For that anonymous person to point out the literal history problems with the Book of Mormon, as I pointed out to you in the videos. That would have made bigger news than Mormons banning the Bible. Mormons ban their own Book of Mormon. And then that would have been a clear indicator of how the prophecy in the Book of Mormon would have happened. But instead, it was immediate retaliation for banning the Bible. And that's why they had to reverse it. Because nobody can ban the Book of Mormon. That would be wrong. Because the church still teaches the Book of Mormon and Bible to little kids. Church is okay with porn. And again, it's just, where do we draw the line on what is obscene and what isn't obscene? You know, everybody thinks they know, but again, everybody's spiritual witness is different. So yeah, I saw a, I gotta write it down, I'm gonna forget. I'm still standing. I saw a picture discussing modesty, and it has women's dress styles, but it's not women in those styles. That would have been better. They used bathroom image pictures of women, and you got one that's completely multiple layered, and she starts taking it off, and the final clothing, she's still fully clothed. They didn't go into shorts and a tank top, and you know, but the last one was a bikini. It could have been done better. Let me do it. I do intend to do that. That's why my hobby is women's fashion design. It's because I didn't need to know the answers for that. That was just something I liked as a kid. But because I'm in the church, I can't do that. That's not good. I should stick to my own kind. I should do men's fashion design. So you want me to be gay, but not be gay. You want me to play with boy dolls, but you don't want me to play with boy dolls. Huh? Shouldn't you be excited that I'm playing with girl dolls? Shouldn't you be excited that I want to know about women's fashion and what lies underneath? My parents literally thought I was gay in high school because my uncle decided to abandon his family and become gay. He gave the piss poor excuse that that he was born that way. Oh, I wanted to be with grandma or my mom at home cooking and cleaning, and so I must be gay. I didn't want to work on the farm with brother and dad. Dear God, what an ass. It's just so lame. If you didn't want the responsibility of a family and kids, you should own it. Not blame some nonsense to show that you're wanting to be a bad guy. Satan. So, I'm just rambling. Just woke up. But those are what's on my mind this morning. The day cometh that they must be burned. And it's the church that'll do it. So, yeah, that's the real reason. It's not that I'm wrong, but it's that by being right, it exposes the church as being wrong. And I never understood that in the beginning. I thought that showing that Joseph Smith was a translator was a good thing. And I didn't realize that it's because I'm in the Great and Abominable Church. That they were purposely destroying the reputation of Joseph Smith. And that's what they've been doing, and ex-Mormons don't see that. They trust the church that's lied to them. Because they're not talking about themselves anymore. They come out and claim, we lied to you about Joseph Smith, and so this is what really happened. And it's still a lie. Brigham Young set that all up. All because it's not the learning of the Jews. That's the trap. By turning Joseph Smith Christian, and then keeping the history as literal from everybody in the church, then when people start doing research and going through the church archives, finding the original documents, they then find out through Christian goggles of the things that the church has not been telling us about. And so it becomes disturbing. And they struggle to harmonize it with the church. And they get excommunicated by the church, which is all a trap. Because all they did was reveal what the church had had the whole time. And so the church excommunicates them for it, for revealing what the church tried to keep secret and hidden. And so ex-Mormons leave the church because of revealing what the church had had the whole time, but using Christian goggles to interpret it. As Brigham Young successfully keeps everybody away from the learning of the Jews. And so that's why I became the threat. It's because I was showing that, hey, as the learning of the Jews, using science, using logic, the Book of Mormon is true. Joseph Smith is a prophet. With the help of William Morgan, who learned of the plot to destroy America. But yeah. So yeah, now like I said, we wait to find out what the church's next move is with this secret combination. And it's been exposed. Leonard Leo has been involved in the court manipulation, Supreme Court manipulation. And we see that Trump by confessing to his guilt. But apparently they pushed back further delays for the trial. See, they keep hesitating and pushing things back, and it frustrates me. I want this done and over with. Burn this city to the ground. Let's get on with it. I want to get to Zion. I want to be able to work on my projects in peace. And so, yeah, I wouldn't have to be doing videos anymore. I'd just be alone. And yet we have to wait still.